welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Bags Kowalski. That's Bags Kowalski, and he is driving the Tiger 1 on an encounter battle on Sand River. And you may have noticed the matchmaking, only one tier 7 on either side, and this is a tier 7's wet dream. So let's see if Bags Kowalski can have an awesome game or not. You can see there's a T29 on the other side. And really, this should be their game. The Tiger 1 and the T29 should be having an awesome time of this one. So straight away, Bag's going to be heading to the north. Going in there to back up the KV-1S and the M6. This being an encounter battle, both of the number 1 spawn quite close to each other. So just going to be heading up here, seeing if we can get into a hull down position, and with the awesome DPM of the cannon on the Tiger 1, going to see if he can just whittle people down from this position. As you can see, the M6 heading a little bit more north. God damn, I've just realised there's a lot of KV-1Ss in this game, so may not be that much of a tier 7's wet dream, considering those KV-1Ss. I mean, if 3 or 4 of them focus fire on the same target, they can just obliterate somebody off the map with a single volley there. So Bag's got to come around, spots out the T29 pretty early. It'd be good to get some early damage on that guy and maybe get him out of the battle as quickly as possible, but I think the T29 realises that he's probably a little bit outclassed there and can't really afford to just throw his life away for the good of the team. He really needs to survive, so just backs down behind that sand dune, and Bag's just going to remain in this area. A little bit wary of that KV-1S on the other side of the sand dune, not really wanting to take any early damage, which is definitely for the best. Not really spotted out many of the enemy teams, so it could be a little bit worrying that they could be rushing the cap circle. As you can see, there's an M6 and a KV-1S down there already, but the majority of the enemy teams actually... Nope, there they are. All of the KV-1Ss are around this corner right here, hugging the base of the mountain for some reason. So going to see how this works out for them. Bag's just going to head around the corner, finds a Churchill Mark 7. Drops back just in time not to take any return damage from that KV-1S that loomed large in the picture there. Going to get himself around just enough. I think that Churchill Mark 7's AFK actually. So if Bags can just put some shots into him, pick up some free experience and credits here with this early damage. Unfortunately just hits the sand in front of him there rather than the tank. Does take a shot from one KV-1S who gets a penetrating hit and does a considerable chunk of damage. But didn't run away immediately, which could have been a mistake on his part. But luckily, Bags wasn't able to get his gun on target in time. Did manage to have a shot that time, but just missed. I don't think these KV-1Ss realise how quickly this Tiger 1 reloads. Although they are falling back into cover fairly quickly. Enemy tanks still keeping up with this base capture. So really the allied team's going to have to push here in the north. Gets a good hit on that KV-1S there, because there's only so long that that 3601 and that KV-1S in the south are going to be able to reset that base capture. Just focusing damage on the lower target tanks, on the lower health tanks. Luckily for the guy in the back there, his ally gets in the way and actually blocks that shot for him, stops him from dying. Luckily Bags has got a couple of guys behind him. We can just see, well, he's actually dead now, but a couple of them taking the hits instead of him. Luckily just about bounced that shot there, and the enemy team's already getting flanked here. You can see there's a KV-1S in and around the back there. That guy reversed for some reason, which allowed Bags to get a good shot on his side armor. And this is just like shooting fish in a barrel, to be honest. Even if you miss your target, then you're going to accidentally hit somebody, because there's just so many KV-1Ss corralled into this little pen here that it is just literally like shooting fish in a barrel. Every single shot is going to hit somebody, and just takes him out as well. Decides to switch target because he doesn't want to waste a shell on 37 hit points. For some reason, all of the KV-1Ss have decided to turn around and switch targets to the KV-1S that appeared in the background. And that has just proved to be their absolute downfall and undoing. as they are all forced to just turn tail and run. There's one KV-1S left up around this area somewhere. There he is there. He's backed off. Not really sure what he's thinking he's doing there, because he's just presenting all of his rear armor to the guys here. So, I mean, I can understand why he ran away up that ridge, but I don't know why he ran away up that ridge and then left his rear armor facing this direction. Oh well, let's not question why. The enemy team's actually mopped up the guys in the south of this spawn area here. T-29 is taken to the ridge and is putting some good damage down onto Bags. But looks like Bags Kowalski's actually gotten more damage back onto the T-29, who is looking a little bit worse for wear, was forced to run away. Gets a good hit on the top of the the cupola, the commander's hatch of that KV-1S. His ally gets in the way, so he's not able to take a second shot, but luckily his ally took him out, so that wasn't too bad whatsoever. The allied team's kind of mopped up the enemy in the base capture area now. There's a couple of KV-2s versus a KV-1S, and this T-29 is making a break for it, so Bags just sits and waits. Any second now. Nope. Not going to quite come around the corner. Got to play this one very carefully. But it looks like the T-29's had his shot at that KV-1S now. Going to be relying on his super thick turret armor to absorb at least some of the damage. Unfortunately, he's able to take out that KV-1S, so now it's just going to be a one-on-one duel, and it looks like the T-29's able to fall back in time to reload, so this is just going to be a shoot. Nope, it's not going to be a shoot at each other and see who's got the most hit points, as the weak spot commander's hatch of the T-29 was poking out there, and Bags was able just to put a shot through, finish him off, and pick up kill number 4 and almost 4,000 points of damage so far. So it looks like the enemy actually won out that little struggle earlier on against the KV-1S. So now the allied guys have got to make their way in there to try and decap that. The KV-1S there having the derp cannon may actually prove to be a blessing in disguise, considering if he hits one of these guys and doesn't penetrate, he's still going to do damage, which is still going to reset the base capture. I'm not sure. I think it looks like only one of them is in the capture circle at the moment, because the score isn't going up too quickly, although they do still have quite a distance to cover. So looking at it, they're up to 60% now. It looks like actually there may be 2 tanks in the cap circle, and they've only got not very long actually. I think they've got more time than they actually have. We're up to 70 now, and they haven't covered very much distance. So really, are they going to get into the cap circle with enough time left to reset this cap? As you can see, it's up to 80% now. I'm not sure where the mod is that tells you how many seconds there is to go, but like I said, I think the allies thought that they had more time than they actually do, as this base capture creeps its way up, all the way up to 90% now. So really, they've just got to dive headlong in there, and if the KV-2s are waiting with guns pointed, then this could prove disastrous. There you go, finally able to get in the cap circle with 97%, and luckily for them, the KV-2s weren't lying in wait, because if the KV-2s were lying in wait on the edge of the cap circle, and as soon as they broke into the circle, just derped them in the face, then that would have just been GG and the game. But as it was, they were hiding, and unfortunately they fired and didn't get to do any damage, so just going to have to whittle these guys down and take them out, although one of them is still full hit points. Unfortunately, KV-1S didn't penetrate there, as you saw, only doing 60-some points of damage, but he did manage to track him, so that KV-2 isn't going anywhere. Bags not really paying attention, so accidentally put a shot over the top of that KV-2 thanks to the terrain irregularities. One more shot is enough to take out the first KV-2, and that just leaves one more. Luckily, he's looking in the wrong direction, looking at that other KV-2, able to take his track out, and he's just about able to get into cover in time before that KV-2 opens up with that massive cannon. If he can get one more good hit, which he does, he's able to take out that KV-2 and secure a victory for his team. So absolutely awesome replay there from Bags Kowalski, showing off his skill in the Tiger 1, picking up a monster 6 kills and nearly 5,000 points of damage in a tier 7. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Cool Man Jack. That's Cool Man Jack, and he's driving the IS on a standard battle on the steppes. IS being a tier 7 heavy tank for the Russians. Don't tend to see a standard battle on the steppes very often. Almost always when I play on this map, it's usually an encounter battle. So actually quite nice to get a standard battle once in a while on this map, as you can get in some pretty good scraps depending on what flank you choose. So anyway, on to this replay at hand. There's actually a pretty good split going on from the Allies here, sending a good portion of the tanks on the right-hand flank. There's a couple of guys camping. Not sure what the Lux is doing, camping there next to the Panzer Soufflé, but hey. And sending a good chunk of heavy tanks and tank destroyer over onto this left-hand flank, so we should get a pretty good fight going on here. So Coolman Jack himself going to be heading over to this left-hand side, going to try and take up position behind these rocks and use the cannon of this IS to its full effect. Spots a Panzer Soufflé here. If he can get a good shot, which he can, he picks up a very early kill there. So good shot. Firing into the fog of war and just picking that guy up. Looks like the enemy team's gotten here first. Ooh, very lucky to get damage to the side of that 122 there. I would have said that was almost certainly going to bounce. I probably wouldn't have fired in that situation, but as you saw, firing there and getting the damage, so excellent shot. See that Dicker Max up in the corner there. Luckily he just bounced as well. He's going to be taking up residence behind this Tiger P, going to offer him some support. The enemy team did get here first, but hopefully the overwhelming force of the Allies can push them back. This Tiger P had a very, very bad angle and he gets taken out very quickly. So now he's got to concentrate on trying to fend off these 4 tanks. As you can see, someone just taking out his track there. It looks like the Jackson decides to put himself back behind the corpse of the Tiger P. He has a shot there, but I think he bounced or did a critical hit on that M4, so not really getting any damage on him. He's got to play it very carefully here, as he's got 4 tanks in front of him and nobody really coming up to support him from behind. They're a little slow to the party. Took a little bit of a disadvantageous shot at that Jackson there, just bouncing on his very well angled front plate. This AT-15A has arrived, so hopefully he can use his formidable armour, as there's an E-25 flanking around behind. Can he get a good shot on him? He can indeed. This E-25 is just going full YOLO now, decides to ram that Lux, and that's going to prove to be a bit of a stupid move as he gets himself taken out. And Cool Man Jack gets his second kill now of this match. Unfortunately, the rest of the team is here in support, so he's got a 15A behind him and the rest of the enemy team in front of him. He's just going forward to take out that 122-44, putting himself in harm's way just to get that killer tank out of the game as quickly as possible. Fixes his track and decides to start dropping back now to try and get some damage on this Chi-Nu. Does indeed get some damage on that Chi-Nu, leaves him with only 44 hit points now. Decides to back up and put his rear against the rock as he's getting flanked on all sides. This 15A is getting shot in the rear by this Chi-Nu. He's still got 200 and some hit points left though, but that Jackson's using him as cover. Got to be careful of this KV-2 now, because if that KV-2 gets a shot on his rear, that's almost certainly going to be a penetrating hit. Comes around the rear of this Jackson, gets a good hit on him. But he can't just rest on his laurels because this M4 is behind him somewhere. As you see, just has a good shot at him there. So he's got to try and take this Jackson out as quick as he can. Gets him dealt with and has to go forward because he doesn't want to take shots from the Dicker Max or the M4. But have to remember that this KV-2 is here. Spots him out there. Looks like the KV-2 still reloading. Oh, and the KV-2 bounces and doesn't do any damage, so that is a terrible, terrible turn of events for the KV-2. And actually, if you have a look at the scoreboard, it looks like the rest of his team's dead now, so Cool Man Jack gonna have to do the best he can to try and fend these guys off. M4 doing an excellent job of carouseling around him here, but he's missed his shot. If he could have hit with the side armor with that derp cannon, then that would have been curtains. But as it is, he gets himself taken out, and that leaves this KV-2. Not sure whether he's reloaded either, but Cool Man Jack's got to get into cover as quickly as possible. Gets a good hit through the front of that KV-2, and he's almost certainly going to reload before him, although he goes in for the ram here. Not quite heavy enough, because this KV-2 is a hefty beast. One more shot, and that's kill. kill number 8. And now he's got to reset because he's got 5 tanks coming in from the other flank there. Not really sure what happened on that other flank though, as the allied team sent more than enough tanks over there to deal with it. Artillery lands, takes out his tracks, so he's got to just sit and wait now. Not really wanting to use that repair kit just yet. But yeah, not really sure what happened on that other flank there, because the allied team sent more than enough tanks to go and deal with all of that. Spots out the enemy's T-29, gets a good high roll on him, and then T-29 hits the dirt. Unfortunately, I think the T-29 is going to reload in time, but one more shot should be enough. No, the T-29's track eats the shot, and he's got to be careful now, because that grill is just going to focus down on this area. Takes a big hit from that T-29, but can he get one in return? No, he can't. That shot, no idea what happened there. And then a surprise Buttsex IS turns up. And can he reload his cannon in time to take out this IS? Yes, he can. But now this T-29's coming around the corner. He's got to rely on RNGesus, but it is not to be this time, and the T-29 finishes him off. But even though that was a defeat, an absolutely brilliant, fast-paced game there from Cool Man Jack, picking up 4,000 damage, 9 kills, fending off so many tanks all on his own. In fact, if I were you, I'd probably rewind and go and watch that one straight away again, because that was an absolutely phenomenal play there from Cool Man Jack. So thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, if you've got yourself a good replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. Please leave me a like or favourite if you enjoyed this video. Stick a comment in the comment section below letting me know how awesome Cool Man Jack is. And if you're not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.